Hello everyone! This is Running on Empty Food Review. Well, hello ladies, gentlemen, and everyone watching. Welcome one and all to this newest edition of the Running on Empty Food Review series. I'm your host, The Report of the Week. Always a pleasure to be here. Taco Bell. One of those establishments these days that I figure you either love them or you hate them. That's a lot of the reaction that I see anyway when it comes down to Taco Bell. People either have only good things to say about them or only bad things to say about them, and oftentimes there isn't a lot of middle ground. And this is one of those cases where Taco Bell has been stirring up a little bit of controversy, so to speak. And, you know, there's definitely some division as far as how people feel about this. You see, Taco Bell has been making some changes for the new year, and you have some people that are really upset about it. You have some other people that think this is actually a good change, and there's actually some excitement about this. But the jury essentially is out, and here's where things stand. So, starting off 2024, Taco Bell announced that they are adding a new value menu, to their menu. They have a special value menu. They got rid of, I believe, the old one. And now they say, this is the Cravings Value Menu. And they say that it's a selection of about 10 items available for the price of $3 or less. And as part of this Cravings Value Menu, they have included about 5 or 6 brand new items as well. Now, right off the bat, I think that sounds, hey, you know, they've got some value menus, some cheap eats, some new items, right? What's there to really complain about? What's the problem that some folks have with it? Well, here's the thing. Taco Bell, as well known as they are for making constant additions to their menu, they are also known for removing some items that, let's say, people disagree with. Firstly, Taco Bell has discontinued the Chipotle Ranch grilled chicken burrito. A lot of people out there really liked that one, so there's not a lot of happy folks out there, the fact that they got rid of that. Now secondly though, while this might be the Cravings Value Menu, some of the items that were already on the menu and then got put on this menu actually experienced a little bit of a price increase. In some cases, and I'm sure it varies based on location, but broadly, there are some items on the menu that the price actually increased by about 30 to 40%. But, you know, psychologically speaking, hey, it's on the value menu, so this actually has to be a good deal, when really, despite being on the sort of discount menu as we think of it, the price actually went up a little bit for a few items. And when people sort of realize that, they kind of shake their head and they think, yeah, I see what's going on here and I don't like it. But nonetheless, people will still say, yeah, you know, but look, it's just a 30 to 40% increase for a few items. Yeah, they took away that one item, but it's still a deal, and there's new items on the menu as well. So, it's a controversial release. There's been a little bit of a price hike for some items on the menu. Yeah, there's some new items as well, but at the expense of a few older items being taken off the menu. So, a lot of people are, again, you've got people that are praising them for this, and you've got a lot of people that are upset. That's where things stand. You be the judge. You decide whether you like it or hate it or you don't really care. The choice is yours, but that's just where things stand. Now, with that out of the way, personally, the way I see it, I never like seeing the price increases, and, look, I understand, they play the game, this is what they do, but, yeah, to do that and keep it on the value menu, again, I see what they're doing, you know, I'm not a fan of it, but every place does it, and that's where it is. Alright, nonetheless, what I also want to do today is I want to review at least one of these new items that's on this menu, and I'm also going to pose a question. So, of the new items that are on the Cravings Value Menu, here's what you can get, and these are all new releases. The double-stacked taco, The stacker is back. That's the second item. You could get the cheesy double beef burrito. You could also get chicken enchilada burrito, loaded beef nachos, and you could also get a 3-cheese chicken flatbread melt. Now, of those releases, I decided to get tonight the 3-cheese chicken flatbread melt. And that's what I'm going to review here. But here's what I want to know. Number one, if you have any thoughts on the menu debacle, by all means share them. I'm curious what you think. But secondly, even more so, a lot of people say, as far as Taco Bell goes, and I see it too, that a lot of items are just the same sort of repackaged stuff with a new name, etc., or maybe a new little sauce or something to that extent. But of all the items that were added to the menu, is there one in particular that you would like to see me review? Because tonight I'm trying out the chicken flatbread melt. But of all the others, the chicken enchilada burrito, the loaded nachos, the stacker, etc., etc., is there one of those that you would like to see me try next? Because I know with Taco Bell, a lot of the items, it's like either everyone cares about it or no one cares about it. That's just what I really see. So of these items, is there one of them that you really want to see me try next? And if you have one, please leave a comment. I'm going to be on the lookout for it. And if I see that the demand is really focused on one of these items, I'm going to go out and I'm going to review it for you all. But I just want to know, because it's like 5 or 6 different items, and I just want to see, is there one that you really want to see? Because if there is, I'm going to review that one next as far as Taco Bell goes. So please leave a comment if there's one of these new items you really want to see me try. Again, I'm going to be looking for it, so let me know. All right, with that said, the 3-cheese chicken flatbread melt, trying that out today. It's available at the price of $2.30, and it comes with grilled chicken, chipotle sauce, 3-cheese blend, and it is on a flatbread. And this is what it comes in right there. I know this review might be a little unfocused. I say that in the metaphorical sense, but there is a lot of ground to cover in this, so hope you understand. It's just there's a lot going on with Taco Bell, so. Oh, here we go. In the flatbread, I figured this would be the item that had the most interest, because this was sort of advertised as its own thing initially. So I figured there might be more demand for that, but, you know, if there's another one you want me to try out, again, just let me know if you want me to try the stacker or the enchilada or whatever, the nachos. There you can see it. The chicken, the sauce. Guess there's some cheese mixed in there on a flatbread. $2.30. All right. With that said, again, you can see the cross-section right there. Looks as advertised for the most part. I am going to try it out and then give a little bit of an assessment on it. Let's get into it. The 3-cheese chicken flatbread melt from Taco Bell. It's going in. So I had a dream a couple of days ago, I would say. In the dream, it was like it wasn't too far off in the future, but it was like maybe 10 years from now. there was a major discovery as far as astronomy is concerned, and it was dealing with one of the distant moons far off in the solar system, Titan. And on the moon, there are these lakes and almost little oceans of, I believe, liquid methane. We already know that. That's not the thing. But in the dream, they had like a probe that went into them, and they discovered an alien species of these chicken flatbread melts, and they were swimming around in it, and they were actually a highly intelligent life form, and they were actually the sort of the dominant species on that moon, and they thrived in the liquid methane lakes and oceans over there. So there you have it. If you're wondering what's on that, now you know. Alright, I think you could see the cross-section well enough. I must say, items from Taco Bell can be very hit or miss, but all things concerned, for what it is, people could say what they want about the concept of the value menu and the fact that some prices were indeed increased, and sure, I don't like seeing that, but as far as the quality of at least this one new release is concerned, I'm happy with it. I've always noticed, and this is just me, that the flatbread melts, I got a little tongue-tied there, the flatbread melts always seem to be pretty decent. Now, I don't know why that is, but they just seem to be like less soggy, less messy. Maybe it's just because the flatbread like holds everything together a little bit better. Maybe it's a little more absorbent. Maybe it's just the way that it gets toasted or prepared, or, of course I don't really know the answer to that right off the bat, but I would wager it has to do with the preparation. The flatbreads that I have from Taco Bell generally are actually pretty good as far as the quality is concerned, and this is no exception. Now, this is one of those items where there isn't really a ton to talk about, so this will be a brief assessment, but I think, especially for the fact that it's $2.30, number one, the quality of the chicken is a pleasant surprise. I remember there have been times where I've gotten chicken items from Taco Bell, and the chicken is like reminiscent of like what you'd see in a can of cat food or something, and it is not good at all. It's like just stringy, and it's just not, it's kind of gross, quite frankly. This chicken, on the other hand, I'm sure as you could see, was the sliced grilled chicken, and it's tender though, it's flavorful, it's way better than I thought it would be. So number one, first and foremost, the quality of the chicken is quite good. That's Taco Bell standards, I'm saying, in regards to. But secondly, though, the main star of this is, of course, the chipotle sauce. There's a good amount of it. It's nice and creamy, but it's not overbearing either. The thing that I like about the chipotle sauce, and I've always liked this, I have always been a fan of their chipotle sauce, because I've always found that it hits the right notes, for lack of a better word. And by that I mean it has the right amount of spice. It's sort of creamy, it's savory, but again, it's got this nice spicy punch to it, likewise, that pairs so nicely with the chicken, and it's a very flavorful sauce. You do not need any other sauce for this flatbread melt. So, the sauce-wise, that chipotle sauce is very nice. Again, gives it a nice, flavorful, spicy kick. Pairs nicely with the chicken as well. Flatbread holds everything together. It's a little chewy, but it's still flavorful in its own right. Decided to go with a little Baja Blast as well. But you might notice the one note that I'm not really mentioning too much is the 3-cheese blend. And that's the one thing For me, as the item is, it's totally fine. I'm happy with it. It's good for the price, tastes good. Again, nice spicy note. But is it overwhelmingly cheesy? No, it isn't. That's the one thing. And this is where it comes down to, well, what are your priorities as far as Taco Bell is concerned? If you're looking for an item that, you want to enjoy the chicken, you want it to be easy to eat, not messy, nice little spice to it, then this is all you. But if you're looking in conjunction with that, really cheesy, you want it, and obviously when you see the name, you're going to think melt. Oh, there's going to be so much cheese on this thing. It's going to be dripping down my face. It's actually going to shoot the gap. It's going to go inside my shirt like that. I'm going to, it's going to live there now, right? That's going to be a disappointment. Not as cheesy as you would hope for it to be. Still has that little cheesiness though. Don't get me wrong. You could still taste the 3-cheese blend. It's just not overwhelmingly cheesy, and that's just something to remember. So if you want more cheese, then just be wary of it. But otherwise, it still tastes good. Nice little spice, flavorful, but maybe a little lacking as far as the cheesiness is concerned. But still, decent item for what it is, all things considered. $2.30 out of 10. I'm going to give the 3-cheese Chicken Flatbread Melt, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Fine for what it is. Maybe it could have been a little more cheesier, but for me personally, I'm happy with it. And a decent item, all things concerned. All things considered, I guess. So anyway, that's all that I have for you. Don't forget, if you're interested, leave that comment about what Taco Bell item on the value menu you'd like to see me try out next. And that's all that I have for you. Until next time, I'm your host, The Report of the Week.